Alrighty, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We are here for the Charlotte All-Star Race. Little fumble there at the beginning with some technical difficulties out there, and a little confusing out here on the track of how we are running tonight's race. Right now, drivers are in qualifying out here tonight, currently running around the track, seeing if they can get a solid time out here. It does require them to go ahead and line up in pit road, then they leave pit road as fast as they can, cross the start-finish line for one lap. On the second lap, they have to come down for a four-tire stop, leave out of pit road, and then finish a third lap, and that's going to take the total amount of time. As you can see, Vincent Arthur is flying down pit road here, and that is allowed here in this All-Star race back in 2004. So you'll see him enter the pit box, which he overshoots it just a hair, but with the amount of speed that we can do down pit road, they're going to be waving the iRacing black flags at that. So they're going to be able to get these guys under control and be able to sling them back out. You see Vincent Arthur already taking the couple sets of tires. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back out he goes. And we'll keep you guys apprised of some of the times that we are seeing out here. Right now, Vincent Arthur is going to be looking to set a fast time. And when we get to the All-Star race, that's when things are going to switch up just a little bit out there. Running a 30... actually a 40, 30, and a 10 lap session here, where guys are going to be really smushing it to make the best of it. But it looks like everything is going to be playing out a little difficult here as Vincent Arthur's tearing around the track. Stella, you're joining alongside me tonight with a little bit of a confusing race that even for the drivers out there, everybody scratches their heads at times now. Talk to me a little bit about some of our times that we have laid down already. Cody Reeder, Dalton Tucker, and Vincent Arthur have just finished their final laps. And we'll see where they, Vincent Arthur, as they total up his times. But we should have Reeder and Tucker currently available.
We do. Cody Reeder in the number 19 ran a 1 minute 59 seconds, which should put him pretty decent up at the top. Dalton Tucker, on the other hand, did have a rough and tumble series out there for his laps, and he came in with a 2 minute and 11 second time. So he may be sitting in the back of the class tonight.
Ouch. All right, Brady Motes gets lined up and already takes off to go ahead and get his time started. Let us know when they line up Vincent Arthur for his time. Seeing how he came out of pit road, very solid out there. Should have a decent time. Beat Cody Reeder's, if not be able to hold at least a top 3 to get this started. Little nudge to the wall there from Brady Motes. He's going to pay for that just a little bit. They'll see if they can pull the right front fender out on the Aaron's car here on the first stop. But Stella, something also to consider here when we got the All-Star race that we're looking at here is the drivers. It's not just about the driver out there on the track. This is actually going to depend on the pit crew as well. You got a pit crew that goes down there and takes 18 to 22 seconds. This is not going to pay for it at all here. So here comes Brady Motes. That's his first lap. And around he goes. Should it be pitting this lap in? We'll see how he lays down a time. Right now, for the best time out there on the track for that lap, he actually is about 0.3 faster than anybody else out here on the field. So some interesting ideas of what we've seen out here from some of our drivers. Brady Motes, Cody Reeder, Dalton Tucker, and Vincent Arthur. And here comes Motes flying down pit road. And let's see if he misses the box. If he can pull in the box without sliding past, I think he's got a heck of a chance to come out on the number 1 spot, but misses it. Wow. Way missed that spot. Remember, he needs 4 tires. Fuel is not required to get back going here. All right, right side's on. Waiting for the left side, so he should be able to get this under control. Now, what ended up happening to Dalton Tucker, unfortunately, is he sidestepped the clutch on the way out of pit road. That car slid sideways, and then he went up and gave just a slight kiss to the wall, which I'm sure he's hanging his head on that one to see if he's going to be able to complete. We'll see how it gets going here. Right now, this is Brady Motes. He's got to tear around and get to that line. That's exactly what we're going to see here. It comes to the line. And time. All right, Stella, we should have Vincent Arthur's time in total.
I do wish we did, but since the person who is posting those times is currently the fella that's on the track doing the qualifying, he has not posted Vincent's time.
All right. Next up is going to be Dustin Kaleba. And right now, the number 9's getting set up out there. He'll be starting here on pit road, as you see in front of you. They get about that front nudge here. Josh Conover is lining these guys up, lowest the number 9. And as soon as they give him the go, he's going to launch.
We are reverse staging.
Yeah. Well, he went past the line a little bit there. I think they're trying to get his front tires touching before he gets launched out of there.
Yeah, this is a whole new, different kind of qualifying than I've ever seen.
Yeah, a little bit different here, but everything should work out. It's going to be the race that's going to be even trickier. Still trying to break out that calculator on Vincent's time there. Still with 158 there from Cody Reeder. 211 from Dalton Tucker. We're holding our breath to see how Vincent Arthur and Brady Motes did. I know Brian went out there. Brian Jones went out there and qualified. And unfortunately missed the pit box and slammed into the wall.
Oh, my dear.
Yeah, and so his time was not counted, so Brian was at the back of the pack. So I think our times should be coming in now.
I do believe we have a time for Vincent Arthur of 1:55. So that's darn good. You want to give him Brady Motes, or should I?
Go ahead.
All right, Brady Motes came in with a 2-minute 4 seconds. So I'm in the process of making a little sheet here so I can keep everybody apprised of who's where.
All right, 4 tire stop complete here from Dustin Cleveland, the number 9. Back out on the track they go. Now remember, during the All-Star race, this is normally when, one, the driver gets to win some money for the team. No points are really counted out there. And 2, guys who have tried something different. Something different with their cars or something they want to toy around with, a new setup. That's how the T-Rex car was eliminated. But I am fairly certain a large puff of smoke came from Dustin Kaleba's car here. And we have blown the engine.
Oh, my goodness. I wondered why he was riding on the apron. You were talking about new tactics, but I don't think that's what they meant.
No, this is exactly what happens. This should be him leaving pit road here. Works his way on out. As soon as he gets up to speed, it pops. Bang.
Oh, my.
Yep.
So is that like Days of Thunder, where he was running like 9,500 RPMs for too long in the first year or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's added tape to the front nose of this thing and it just overheated. That was it. He was trying to get as much speed as he could. Definitely a good idea to do, but did not seem to work out for him. Mike Moultrie setting up the Silver Bullet onto the line. All right, now Lockridge out there saying the money shift. Oh, dude, if he went third to second, that'd have been terrible.
Oh.
If he missed it.
Oh, that would be.
Holy cow. Him and Cody Reeder almost duplicated their times.
Nice.
So Cody Reeder had a 159.58 Dustin had 159.68. I think if he hadn't have blown the engine, he might have given Vincent a run for his money there. Yeah, Lockridge Motorsports out there going ahead and kind of keeping us surprised to how the cars work out there. I know Gen 4 still runs the H-pattern shifter. Once they move over to the next gens, it's sequential. So it's a lot harder to blow the engine, or double shift, if you will. But we'll see how Mike Moultrie does. So Moultrie with his first lap with a 29.69. That's going to actually hold him for a 5th place in the grand scheme of things here. He's got to figure out how to pick up the pace, though. Running 199 miles an hour around the backstretch last time around. We'll see if he can do it again. Right now, that is blazing speed here. It comes down pit road. Good Lord, look at the speed. Yep, down to 32, 25, and stopped. 4 tires here. Right side's on. Left side's will be on next. So, Stella, hopefully you're keeping this good notes here of where our guys are landing here tonight.
I'm trying. I am trying. So far, we are at Vincent, followed by Reeder, Kaliba, and Tucker.
Yep. Good thing that these guys do not have to wrap all the way around and wait to get to the blue cone before entering back on the pit, back onto the racing surface. I think Moultrie's got right now probably the best line here and the most consistent. Let's see if he can get rolling here. Remember Vincent Arthur's time of a 155.77. Here he comes across the line. Boy, I'll tell you what, that was quick. Yeah, last lap time just as fast as his original first one. So great job there by Mike Moultrie. Fantastic. All right, we'll see who's up next here in just a moment. Only one driver unable to complete qualifying here tonight. And that unfortunately goes to the 45 there of Brian Jones. Stella, do you recall anything of Mr. Brian Jones?
Regarding?
Our race win.
Oh,
no! Stella, do you see the time here on Mike Moultrie?
I do, a 155.44.
Holy cow. Awesome job. That should give him a 33 thousandths of a second faster finish.
Smallest to largest.
All right. We're
And
waiting to see
does.
who is going to
Puts
be
him on
ready to
pole.
quali here. Who are we waiting on? Right now, Mike Moultrie was our last qualifier.
Tyler DeTalent.
All right, we'll see who is exiting pit road here. See Dalton Tucker moving around out there. Lockridge Motorsports. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. We will see you Saturday night. I believe they were going to stop postponing that season. We should be able to see what you guys are ready to do here over at the NSR League.
What am I missing? I have 6.
Tyler DeTalent is MIA here tonight.
Oh.
And Brian Jones was a no finish.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, but I'm counting Brian Jones. I have currently Mike Moultrie, followed by Vincent Arthur.
Boy,
Cody
look at
Reeder.
Dalton Tucker here.
Is he doing a redo?
I believe so.
Oh. All right. So the qualifying for the main event is now over, and we are looking at opening up, getting ready to go.
Awesome. All right, so as they get that grid set up, guys doing their last little bit. This is normally the time that you see everybody do a little bit of a coolant flush, double check the engine, make sure it's not sucking down any engine oil, no leaks are there, and they're going to go ahead and get them back out onto the track here in a moment to set up this grid. So they'll go ahead and get these guys ready to go. As you see Dustin Kleba, he
I'm
is
Mr.
knocking
Brady
down
White.
some times out here. As they are spreading wide. Stella, if you wouldn't mind, double check and see if we remain here or if we shift over to find our open.
Okay.
Not a bad time. So if the one's here tonight, Mike Moultrie does end up being the fastest one out there on the track. How these guys are going to duke it out toward the end, I'm excited to see. We'll definitely hold our breath to see where the rest of our guys place. Now, some of them who had been kind of sniffing around out there to see if anything was going on, like Eric Essery, Cody Smith, and Josh Conover, and Nick Pressey did not go out there onto the track. And Stella, you got anything to upload me on?
We move over to the one that has 2 minutes left.
All righty. We'll get it done. All right, guys, we saw how qualifying went. We'll be right back, and let's go ahead and find our guys when they get ready to start here at Charlotte. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. We have caught up with the rest of our gang, and that's who we've been looking for. Right now, got our eyeballs here on Nick Pressey out there, going ahead and knocking down some times. We are currently in the open qualifying set, looking to see all the guys that were not allowed to qualify for the All-Star race are out here going ahead and trying to make a mark out there. That way they have a better start here for the night. Do not want to be starting in the back of this pack, so it is going to be tough, and we'll see how it goes. Right now, we'll see if I can find a driver out there that might be able to explain a little bit what exactly is going on out there, and we'll definitely pull a driver up, and one of the admins will be able to kind of chime in and give us a little insight here. All right, we find our driver out there in the number 1 car of Brady Moats. Brady Moats, talk to me a little bit about what we're kind of taking a look at and how we've moved into qualifying for the rest of these drivers.
First off, Pat and Stella, hope you're all doing good. I was just going to say, so right now we're about to have the Open. These are the guys who weren't prior winners this year or won this year. We just pulled the winners from this year to go to the All-Star race. Since we don't obviously have any previous Gen 4 seasons, and we didn't really want to go off Next Gen Cup and all that and whatever else. Anyways, so tonight we'll pull from this open field the winner, the fan vote winner, and Josh just let everybody know that it will be a random driver on the lead lap just to help with car count in the All-Star race. So it'll just kind of help, obviously, get some more guys in there and just have a little bit more of a show put on and everything. These 3 drivers that transfer from this field will be starting at the tail of the field in order of the race winner, the fan vote winner, and then the random driver picked from the field.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
How will you be determining fan vote?
The fan vote was voted on by the points drivers, and we already have the results in, but we're kind of going to leave that as a little bit of a surprise until the end. So.
Okay.
But let's say, okay, all right, hypotheticals. If the fan vote winner wins the race, then it will be the second highest voted for the fan vote. So just if that happens.
Huh.
But we already had the results and everything, so.
Okay, so these guys are qualifying for their mini race to race into the All-Star race.
Correct.
Cool. Okay. So then you guys are going to end up gridding up, and then that's where we got our 40-30-10 mark, huh?
Yes, that is exactly right. And we'll knock out these 30 laps hopefully pretty quickly, and then be able to move on to the big show. And also, if y'all did not know, as we kind of like chatter back and forth, some guys are putting up some money up on the line this year for some stuff. I think there might be hard charger reward. We're still trying to kind of finalize that last second because some of the guys wanted to, throw that stuff in there. So I guess once we finalize that, we'll get that to y'all too. Probably just through Broadcast Talk or whatever. I can send it to y'all. But yeah, it'll. But we have a few, like obviously money going out and everything. Just spice it up a little bit and get everybody excited for this. So.
All right. Who are you kind of pulling for out there that might be able to make it into the next round?
Man, I want Mikey to come up off of 4, you know what I'm saying? Old Cody Height in the Mikey machine. I want him to come up off of 4, and I want him to take that W. And especially that 8 cars in front of him, he needs to rough that 8 car up a little bit and get him on up out the way,
Ooh.
All right.
But nah, for real though, I think it'll probably be Josh, Cody, or Cody. I mean, and Cody Smith too. So I mean, that'll probably be your 3 front runners. And maybe Christopher, a little bit of a dark horse in there too. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You got some pretty good drivers in this field, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of makes it pretty cool, with not including the previous year's winners and everything from like the next gen and stuff like that. Because you'd have guys like Josh and Cody Height and Cody Smith and all those guys going up. Nick Gillis even going up into the All-Star race. It kind of makes these guys that to race their way in a little bit of desperation mode. So it's pretty cool what they got going on here.
All right. Yeah. I agree, and I think it would also give somebody like Brian Jones, who kind of totaled out there on his on his qualifying time when he had a chance to get out there, maybe a shot at redemption here. Maybe they'd be able to get the Evernham Motorsports team, all 3 of them, back together during that All-Star race. And I think that would definitely help them here tonight. So hopefully he takes behind the wheel. I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, so So Brian accidentally joined on accident as a driver. He should not have. He was not supposed to be in here. He's already qualified for the All-Star race, even though he didn't set a time because he won it. Was it Richmond? Correct? I think. No, wait. I don't remember where he won at. But either way, he won it in one of the races this year, so he's already qualified either way. So.
Yes, Richmond.
Cool.
Richmond. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So all the guys who were not okay, I got you. So we're not who haven't qualified in the last one are going to sit out and let these guys duke it out here.
Yes.
Oof. Boy, that's going to be a clump. All right. Awesome.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. And I know y'all haven't seen him. Oh, he didn't make it in. Well, I was gonna say, long-time person in the league, Ronnie Norman, Stormin' Ronnie Norman. If he would have been in here, he would have been definitely contender to make the win out here because he's very, very fast. So I don't know how much y'all have seen of Ronnie Norman. I think he might have been here 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But yeah, he's pretty quick too. So maybe he can make it in and make something happen.
All right.
Both those fellas are up on the driver's line, but not in the race.
Yep,
So
we'll
they'll
see.
be in the tower.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll make it happen. No fear. All right. So Josh Conover does want to make sure I check my notes here. Say you must lead a lap as well for the fan vote winner and the random driver. So it's going to be tough. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our starting grid here for this open here, so they can squeeze these guys into the big show. Nick Pressey, Cody Smith on the front row. Kevin Ballmer starts third, and Jake Christopher will be fourth. Moving on to Christopher Height, starting on the inside of row number 3 with Cody Height to his outside. Moving on to Matthew George, who's been pretty consistent here, but does he have the speed? Eric Essery's going to let him know, as he'll be to his outside. Moving on to Logan Hagerman, who starts in 9th. Josh Conover into the 10th spot. Moving on to Jake Gladelick, who's 11th. And Nick Geilis, well, unfortunately back in the field for the All-Tail machine. That's where we'll find him. And Stella, your turn on the 13th spot.
Number 13? Haha, Derek Choppin.
All right.
That's where I'm going.
We'll go for it. All right, we'll go for it. Let's go ahead and see these guys get rolling here. And Brady Moats is going to hang out with us here in just a moment and hang out kind of on the outskirts as we watch these guys get under green. Away we go.
Oh, the two-car inside wall.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
No caution.
Christopher Heights takes it straight into the wall. Looks like a sidestep there. We'll second see if it was assisted here in just a moment as these guys calm down. Lots of smoke out there on the track. A battle out there between Kevin Baumler and the number 48 of Jake Christenberry. This is a battle for third. Baumler's got the bottom line. He might have a favorable position, but Cody Height looking to the inside. What we can't do is they've got a little modification here to the camera. Take a look at that.
I like it.
Jake Christenberry taking a look here on the outside. This does give us an opportunity to see inside the car and outside. Great job by our production crew of getting an angle there on the camera. Fantastic job. So let's take a look here from the outside as you see the number 8 starting to peek in the 32 of Eric Essery holding the bottom line, where the bottom line has been the favorable and faster line, but I would say that only applies to Kevin Baumler. The rest of the outside line does seem to be marching up to the front, and this is looking pretty tough here. Brady Moats, it looks like you might be right, but Cody Smith is out front. The Caterpillar machine looking to go ahead and take the win, but 3 laps in, anything can happen.
Yeah, Cody Smith, I mean, he's pretty strong here in the short run. We always know he has been all year. Be watching him to hopefully drive away here from Cabin. And Cabin, again, also another one of those drivers, great on the short run. I mean, Cabin's really good driver all around, too. So we'll see what they can do here. Hopefully they can put on a good show here out front.
All right, they're going to keep it all together here. No caution did come out there for Christopher Heights. We're going to take a quick peek as looks like Nick Pressey and Jake Christenberry, and we're looking over top. Yeah, number 2 did sidestep it and then got nudged there by the number 25 of Matthew George. So there was a little assistance there, but it wasn't all by himself. Here they come straight across the line. Couple of drivers slamming into the wall, and Josh Conover decides to take the bottom, going right back at the Michael Waltrip car at the 15, moving him to the outside. Cody Heights got his hands full here tonight, but splitting the line is Jake Christenberry, holding on to spot number 4.
Yeah, Josh is looking strong right here, making some progress towards the front. Hopefully he can follow this 48 through right here and make some good moves to the front here. I mean, it's looking like Cavin's starting to fall off a little bit along with Cody Smith. I don't know. We'll see what they can do out here.
Yep, Pressey starting to sneak here toward the inside Right now, Stella, this is looking pretty tight as the 48 is nudging it off the wall not once, but 2 laps here in a row. Hopefully he can, oh boy, squeeze on through. He does make the clear. Christenberry gets past Height, and that leaves us with Cody Smith, Kevin Balmer, and Nicholas Presley holding our top 3 spots.
They are. Jake Christenberry's back in his 4th place there. He's the only one still sitting where he first started. But Cody Height is right behind him. I mean, right behind him.
Yep, we sit on the top of Josh Conover's car looking forward. Outside line by Balmer, trying to take a little bit favorable line and easier on those tires, but dropping down to the bottom again is going to be Cody Height. No spot there or no real estate available as Jake Christenberry shuts the door. But we're getting very close out here up to the front as Balmer is overtaking here for the lead to the inside. Across the line, Balmer's got it.
Yeah, here comes Cody Smith's tires burning off. I mean, he needs to keep it underneath him and try and hold on to it here, fight him as hard as he can, and hopefully bring that 0 in the picture to get some air on the 30 to be able to loosen him up and hold on to that spot.
Yep, very tough here as Cody Smith is trying to figure out what kind of strategy he needs to work on that AOL machine that hugs the bottom. Nick Pressey is following along, though. Balmer has been getting rather loose, coming off of 4, and has wiggled yet again. That's going to go ahead and hand it right back to Cody Smith, who's been very solid. I'm wondering if he's going to return back to that white line, or does he decide to rotate up? Everything calms down here in the front 3. Battle back on, actually picking up again right in front of Conover. He can't believe what kind of action he's seen tonight. Not too much out of Conover. Bump down on the bottom. The 15 rotates up. Holy cow, Jake, great job by Jake Christenberry. Almost messes up there, Brady. I think he just saw his light flash before his eyes.
Oh, Lord, that 15, baby. He about stacked the field up right there, man. That was close.
Yeah, Conover was definitely biting some nails on that one.
Yeah, I think right now the spotters are starting to draw a circle around the 15. That's a couple of times we've seen that car getting a little sideways out of here. No, we like seeing teammates make it into the final 3, but boy, it's going to be tough. 20 laps when we get to the line. Battle for the lead yet again. Balmer looking to the inside. Best thing the 22 can do is squeeze him down to the double humps on the front stretch, and he's going to get it. 30 clears.
Slide job.
Yeah. Great job there by Cody Smith. This is bad.
Yeah, solid crossover here. He's going to hold the white line here. He's going to slide up. Oh, he's loose.
Boy, hits that bump in the track. Yeah, sets that left front tire. There we go, door to door. You get it. Balmer at the line. 19 to go. Stella, if this is the kind of racing we're going to see heading into the All-Star race, this should be fantastic here tonight. I was a little skeptical to see how everybody was kind of easing out there, 4-tire stop and everything. No, this is more like what we're looking for here. Right now, it's still battle for the lead. We are taking a peek out back. I see Conover looks like he might be overcoming Christenberry, but only in the numbers, not by physical.
Yeah, well, Matthew George is doing the number on Nick Geilis right now, but I'm watching Pressey. I think he's going to be the little spoiler. He's waiting for these two to give him room, and he is going to take it.
Yeah, hard press.
Pressey's going to get a big run off the hill there. I mean, he might have it right here, be able to send him 3 somewhere. Looking at him out of 4 here. Maybe he could get a big run. Yeah, going to back up his entry. Here he comes. Get on exit.
Boy, good move here by Pressey. Goes in. Looks like there it is. Balmer.
Wall.
Round they
no
go.
caution.
30 machine gonna deal no damage. Yes.
Wow.
Balmer saves it off the pit road wall.
Never made contact. The only damage he is going to have is with the other car.
Boy, you want to talk about feelings hurt on that one. Pressey's going to be down and out. Now, I don't think Balmer will be able to return unless we get a caution, but boy, I think his race team's going to hug him for not totaling that car. Wow, that was close. Smith almost able to get out to a nice, comfortable, almost a half a second lead over top of Cody Height. And still under fire is Jake Christenberry and Josh Conover.
Yeah, I think if Josh can find his way around that 48 car, he might have something for him here. I mean, he's coming. But how about this 32 behind Josh Conover? Where did he come from? I mean, he is charging through the field right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was just about to mention something about that Tide car of Eric Essery here as we hop inside, taking a look forward, as he is definitely setting up this line high side, getting ready to swoop down into the 48. Conover does make the clear around Jake Christenberry, but he better catch up pretty quick as we are running out of time, 15 to go.
Yeah, it looks like he really wants to go fast.
Yeah, I get that one.
Ooh. Little right rear
Christenberry
tire
loose.
slide here by Jake Christenberry. Car's starting to loosen up on him here. Stella, we are seeing some stellar times right now. All drivers still almost under 31 seconds. Some just peaking over. Some of our faster times being 29 and a quarter. That is some blazing speed out there from Cody Smith. But is Cody Smith still outrunning the field? And is he taking it a little too hard? I think this is going to be him skating to a win here. But, man, right now, Stella, I'm starting to think he might be, the rest of the field might be sitting back just a little bit, and they're really going to pour it on here in the last 8 laps.
Well, the only one that's running anywhere near close to his time, actually, is Jacob Gladelick, who's all the way back in 10th. But he is doing his best to make good times every round. It's just he started out a little bit too far back.
Well, we'll poke at Jacob Gladelick a little bit. If he doesn't pick up the pace, he might go a lap down. Right now, he's currently sitting in 10th. The only driver not to gain a position here in the top 10 is going to be Jake Christenberry, who's not losing one but now 2. Right now, Matthew George made a bid for his position of 5th, and they are now going at it here on the backstretch. Matthew George on the dietech.com, number 25 down here on the bottom, looking to see if he can grab just a little more and see if he can make this final pass, but not looking very good here. And I think he might be a bridesmaid to the end of this race.
And there's a caution.
Caution is out. We are looking for a driver who may be down and out here. 10 laps left to go. Is this a stage break here?
No.
I do believe so. That's a curveball for me. I didn't know that one. Sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, I wasn't sure. I see our times. Nobody's under speed out there. Everybody is slinging around.
I'll tell you what, Pat, if we would have went green there to the end, I think, I'm not even on the bias train, I think Cody Smith probably would have been ran down by one of these drivers behind him, because I was starting to see that yaw come out and the rear end start to step out on that 22. It looked like he was having to wrangle it in a little bit more. So, I mean, obviously here we'll have 10 laps, run as hard as you can. Looks like it could be his race here as long as he gets a good restart.
Yeah, I would
So
question
do they
it.
get to pit? Is there any reason why they wouldn't get to pit right here?
Yes, they should be able to pit here.
Excellent. Okay.
Awesome. I love mixing things up and making it really dicey. Josh Conover, we got a caution out here tonight. What's going on?
Comp yellow. Real life, they went 20 laps, caution, and then 10 to the finish. And the league owner butchered this one up because he was supposed to have it so caution laps didn't count. And apparently they're counting. So we're going to try and have a quick yellow once we all pit here.
All right. Are tires required? Do we need to take
nope,
4
not
here?
required. You're just required to stop. You can do 4, you can do 2, you can do just gas and go if you wanted to.
Awesome. So Brady Moats, this definitely puts a. You were talking about curveball. Here's another one. Does Cody Smith take 4, or do you only take 2 to stay out in the lead?
You know, Sterling Marlin back in the day took 2 and it won in the race. But I don't know if I have the nads to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Giles with 2. Wow.
Oh, Guileless.
Wow.
Nick Gillis. Oh, well, as long as he didn't get nailed for a speeding penalty, he just made 11 places. Thank you very much.
Also had the 38 on 2 as well, Stella.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Josh, what you think? What you got here?
We're going green.
We're going green right here? Okay.
Yes, sir.
What you think? You gonna get a dub or what?
We're going to send it. We're going to find out.
Hell yeah, do it for Dale.
That's right.
Get you some.
All right, we'll just send Josh back down there, and that way he is ready to go. And his team, boy, we should put him in the wrong room. I think that would be funny.
No.
Yeah, we'll set him with Evernham. That's where I set him.
Shameful.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
like,
I
hello?
should be ashamed. He'll figure it out here in a second. He'll be like, what is going on? No, I'm just kidding. I'll move him. All right.
He moved. Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and get this back on the way. Two
Here goes
tires.
Height. My goodness. Cody Smith, Cody Height clear first and second. Nick Gallus already back at third to respin the tires. See if he gets loose off of 2. Running Conover tight.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Matthew George almost getting in the back.
Number 38 of Derek it's that 2 tires is killing him too.
Boy, smash it together here. You want to talk about 1, 2, 3, go. The Codys are leading out front. And everybody fighting for that final spot right now. Josh Conover has it. But Eric Essery looking to sit right behind him here. As they are still shuffling back. Guyla still holds on to 6th. Who in the world is that keeps flying? I mean, just consistently flying backwards here. I thought that's Nick Cressy.
Yeah.
Oh, and the 30 is in the 38.
Derek to put Owen, he just took
He
Captain
saves it.
Holter. Oh,
Twice he has spun out without a caution here.
man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, talk about closing the gap. Some of these guys not having enough. Guileless unable to hold on. His restart failed him. He's currently holding on to the 6th position. Matthew George now 7th, moving on to the 88. Hagerman, who sits in 8th. Now seeing if they can slice forward. 5 left to go. Kristen Berry holding on to 5th. Obviously, it looks like most of our drivers who've been up in the front are still in the front. Right now, I guarantee it, Stella, right now, I don't want to say anything bad, but Cody Smith, I think getting out of the next gens is probably the best thing here for him. I haven't seen this guy finish so well and so consistently week after week than that Caterpillar car. He is just every single time. Next gens, he was back 20. This guy is top 5 almost every week, and I guarantee you, even his viewers out there who've been watching the number 22 with Cody Smith are ecstatic right now to see him getting him only about 3.5 laps away from moving on to the next round.
Yes, and I'm looking, he's only a quarter of a second one Cody in front of the other, but he seems to be able to lengthen that at will.
Look who's going for another spot. Josh Conover starting to slice the track. Moving there to the inside, almost decides to do a little landscaping. Moves up in front of Cody Height, and Cody Height, his own teammate, is going to be staring at his rear bumper.
Yeah, Josh is going to try and make some time. He's going to try and make some time here. Hopefully they can catch Cody Smith. But Cody Smith, man, he's one of the best in the league on the short run, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. I think if Cody Smith could figure out how to calm it down a little bit and learn how to get a long run, I think this guy would definitely be deadly out here on the track and be probably one of the hardest guys to beat, alongside of Benson Arthur, who almost secures himself a win each and every week, or at least the top 3. So closing the gap here, less than 3/10 behind is Josh Conover. Cody Smith is starting to notice that number 8 machine is getting a lot bigger in that rear view.
I'll tell you what, Josh Conover right there last time by, 10th.5 faster. There he is again, a 10th.5 again. Can he make it up here? He's going to have to send it hard here on the final lap to get Cody Smith.
Oh, horrible blinking time for Cody Height. Moving here for the top spot. They're moving on to the next round. Who's it going to be, Cody Height or Eric Essery? You're talking about a full send here. Cody Smith looks like he is able to fend off the 8. But down on the bottom, Eric Essery to the inside is able to get in front. Conover unable to clear Cody Smith, and Eric Essery moves on. Whoa. Beats him there by 90 thousandths of a second. And Cody Height will be going home. Bro. All right. Stella, not bad here for the open. We'll get these guys
Not
ready
at
to
all.
get lined up.
Waiting for the announcement
Honestly-
here on who transfers.
Yeah, honestly, for this size field, this is probably the best race I've ever seen.
right. Whoop. Bobbler. Yeah, he decides to destroy it. I saw it in the background. Slammed right into the wall. Wow.
Checking the cars right here, and then they're going to check, make sure that everybody's good, and then...
All right. We'll show our unofficial results. Cody Smith, Conover, Essery, and Cody Height. Boy, that was close.
Top 10
great
comes
race.
in with Kristen Berry, Matthew George, Logan Hagerman, Nicholas Presley, Christopher Heights, and Jacob Gladelick.
All right. After that, we're gonna chop that L out of Presley's name there, Stella. And we're gonna work on it before Judy chops you in the throat.
I did say Pressy. Did I? Did I not?
Yeah, if you're drunk. All right. Those should be our guys up
You're
here. I
hearing
think the
things.
15 does want to make it, though. I think he's trying to get a 3-wide pick today.
So this just in, the random driver was Nick. So
What?
Nick Gillis will transfer to the All-Star race because he's the random pick. Now he has to be
Okay.
checked first to ensure that he didn't make too much adjustments on the setup. So pending still.
What? What?
And Cody Smith, winner. We got Nick Gillis for random on the lead lap.
So
And
the transfers
Fan vote.
is Cody Smith, Josh Conover, Eric Essery, and Nick Gillis.
So you would say the 2-tire call was warranted
The move.
here.
Yeah, the move. Yeah, there you go. Because I mean that gets you the random draw off your one lap led. I mean that was pretty good call there by Nick. Honestly, 5 brain. So I mean, good call.
Wow. No way. No way. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All
Fun
right.
fact also, Pat, for y'all, I don't think Nick Gillis has ever missed an All-Star race.
Really?
Nice.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I know right now in the tech shed things are happening. I think they're making sure we don't have a T-Rex issue.
Yeah, I thought it was they had to be on the lead lap, not that they needed to have led a lap.
No, they need to lead a lap as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the random or the fan driver needed to make it. All right. Awesome job here. So, Brady Moats, what happens next? We're in the hunt for the big show, huh?
So now Josh has got to set the grid. After everybody passes tech, Josh is going to set the grid for the All-Star race. And once he can set the grid, he can throw that session up. And then the big show happens. The feature goes.
Whew. All right. Boy, I'll tell you what, Stella, that was not a bad race, and I think what kind of we can end up summing this up to before we head over to the big show is when you've got a race to win and you're in, everything changes a little bit. There's a lot less real estate to play with out there. Your friends are no longer anymore. Normally, you wait to the last 2 laps, and teammates are teammates until then. But this was 30, 40 laps of no, no from the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, I liked it. It was more like racing than pacing. I that's what I watch. That's what I like to watch.
Yep. All right. Pretty exciting here. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, hang in there just a moment. We'll go ahead and we're going to cut away here, and we'll be right back as soon as these guys get that grid set up, and we are going to go ahead and get it launched. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys hanging in there for the little bit of extended time. We had a little tumble up out there when it did come down to setting this car up and getting that grid lined up. We're taking a look at Josh Conover out there in the Dale Jr. scheme, trying to see what he can do and how he can make this car just a little bit faster here tonight. And we'll talk a little bit about how this race is going to pan out. Should be pretty exciting to see how it all unfolds. Cody Smith, after his race there with the win and in, one of the favorites to be running up front here tonight. But what is the purpose of running up here tonight? Well, that's the exciting part here about the All-Star race. Remember that the All-Star race does not count for points or for the team or anything else. It's more of the bragging rights, but it all comes down to money. It used to be that you would come out here to a race like Charlotte and you would win $1 million to win this race here at the end, or even farther back, it would be $100,000 and then less than that prior to even that. So what we've done is here tonight, provided you by the Penske Racing Team out there by Cody Heights, they are also throwing $100 to the winner here tonight and $50 to the hard charger. Now the hard charger,
$1 million winner, just minus 4 zeros.
Right, gotcha. but we're kind of tossing it around here a little bit, is where these drivers are looking to get pretty excited. Why you see everybody is able to get set up and squared away. We'll talk a little bit about setup as well. With the hard charger award, this race is going to be inverted here a little bit, and then we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So let's start with the setup that we're going to be looking at tonight. Drivers are able to make slight tweaks out there to the spring perch of the car, which is going to help adjust the wedge a little bit to help these cars tighten or loosen them up. Or the tires are allowed to move up or down 5 psi on any tire. So it really doesn't matter. Guys are trying to make a slight little adjustments to the car out there. As we can see right now, Cody Smith trying something different than he did during the race. To see if he can figure out how to maybe free up that car a little bit. He said it did toward the later end of the run of the 20-lap stint. His car started tightening up on him, and he's a little concerned about how that's going to play out when he gets out on the track for the real time and the real business and the money this time. So we'll see how Cody Smith does fare and what ends up happening later on here in the run. So I'm excited to see what everybody has here for Charlotte. So let's take a look here as everybody is going ahead and getting a little bit of a setup. What our race is going to consist of here tonight, and it'll be 3 stages. So we'll see with 3 stages out there. 40 laps are going to be the first set, and it's going to be the way the grid was set up, who won in, who got the fan vote and we're able to squeeze in at the line, is how all that's going to be determined. Now, during those 40 laps, and before lap 35, these drivers need to make a green flag 4-tire pit stop. I don't know, these are for any of the new viewers who've never seen any of the All-Star races out there. We're definitely kind of trying to squeeze in a little bit, try to explain how everything goes on. So a 4-tire pit stop under green before lap 35 in the first 40 laps. After that, it's not going to matter. Then it's going to be a random invert of the field. They're going to flip the field again during that lap 30 and then race it out. After that, there's going to be a light little trimming out there. Some guys who may be going home, and it's going to be a 10-lap shootout toward the end. Drivers can figure out how many tires they do want to put on, whether they want to pit or not. I would say some drivers have won, some drivers have lost due to their tire strategy pit call out there, and we're definitely going to be holding on to the edge of our seat to see where guys placed. I mean, look, even a driver like Nick Gillis, he made it in here after a 2-tire stop and was able to lead 1 lap. So, Stella, that is right now, Gillis, I would say, is the guy with the horseshoe here tonight. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be here, but he got it by 1 lap and by a fan vote. So, I mean, you want to talk about getting super close out there to barely making it, but he has won himself in here, and he's earned it.
Yeah, one way or another. I was so confused. So it is 3 stages then, because I was looking at 40 laps and then a caution. Then they do the invert, 30 laps and a caution,
Yes.
and then they race the last 20 laps.
We'll see if this is the last 20. I'm fairly certain it's the last 10.
Okay.
But we'll double check on that. No fear. I've got it also up here that it's a fixed setup league, but it is a slight adjust. It is fixed, but with a slight adjustment they're allowed to make here for the All-Star race. Because remember, everything's a little bit different. A different strategy, a little struggle between race teams trying to be just a little extra tweaking. That's why toward the end of the race, these guys are going to head to the tech shed, and we'll let you know if they do pass or not. If there's too much of an adjustment, no dice, they're not going anywhere. But 101 degrees out there on the track. Heck of a lot better than what weather we're having around here, which is nothing but rain and it is soggy.
What was the temperature of the track during that open?
Should have been somewhere around the 90 mark.
Okay.
So I think that's why we're seeing Cody Smith slipping out a little bit here. It is a lot different than when he raced last time.
All right.
So, yep.
I like it.
All right, so drivers are going ahead and getting their warm-ups, getting their last little tweaks done. And we'll see when they get ready to go. We are still waiting for a few extra drivers. Remember, Brian Jones will be starting toward the back of the pack. Unfortunately, during his qualifying time, had a dismal time. Unfortunately, he kind of smacked the wall there in the pit road, right there at the pit wall, and kind of got his car jammed. They had to pull him off the side and kind of peel him out of there. Dalton Tucker, on the other hand, that we see here in the Haviland machine, actually spun out coming out of pit road, which absolutely destroyed his time, giving him somewhere around, I believe it was a 2:11.4. So that is awful here to see Dalton Tucker. I expect to see him slicing through. But Stella, with the amount of drivers and the amount of speed out here, we'll talk about a consolidated field and then putting a ton of speed out there to have these guys duke it out here at Charlotte.
Yeah, I love Charlotte. This is working very nicely for this final in the All-Star race. Curiosity, Mike Moultrie has not taken behind the wheel?
I have not seen Moultrie return yet, unless he has been racing in the other room, and he will return here in a moment to hopefully get this squared away. I mean, heck, even look, Brady Motes, he went out there and knocked down a couple of laps, and we haven't seen him leaving pit road as I say that. Quick drum roll, and there he is. So hopefully we see him get back to it. Right now, maybe you can pop down and find a teammate of the number 42 and ask him where the silver bullet is. As he is in, that. He is in he's got to be in a hurry here, as he will run out of time before we get ready to drop under green. Getting pretty excited about a race like this. I love the All-Star race. I don't know if you guys remember back, I believe it was the 01 race back there with the T-Rex car. That thing was blazing fast. And they actually outlawed that car. Unfortunately, it was due to the amount of speed it was able to create out there and how it handled. But was within regulation. They did pay him out, but that car raced one race that was unofficial and went straight to the museum after that, and has never seen pavement since. I would love to see that car return, especially the way that thing ran. I think that was that could have changed the future out there of NASCAR. And the future of Mike Moultrie is laying in his hands now as we wait for the Chip Nossi racing driver. Stella, what is our update out there on Mike Moultrie?
He is stepped away for the time being, but should be back in time for grid up. We have our fingers crossed.
Oh boy. All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely see what they want to do here. Check out there with Penske Racing as well to number 2. Did not have a good run in, so hopefully maybe we can get a shout out from one of our drivers who has made a donation here to the league for the race drivers here tonight, and we'll see if he wants to give a word in, and if we can kind of track Chris Heights down there with Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and see if he wants to kind of put in a few words out here about how this race is going to go, and how excited he is about tonight. So Brady Motes is who we're taking a look at out of the Snap-on machine, still hanging on to the Aaron's car. He's been running that since the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. Hopefully we'll be able to see a new paint scheme out of Brady Moats. 4 drivers so far have yet to put down a time. Cody Height, Cody Reeder, Dustin Kaliba, and Brian Jones. Right now, whoop, little too loose there from Brady Moats as he loops it around. Maybe he's practicing his winning burnouts are a little too early here. But we'll see. As Brady Moats did join us up here in the booth, that was pretty exciting to see him give a little bit of an input of what he was doing out there, what happened out on the track, and kind of what we've lined ourselves up for here tonight, and what to expect. I would say, after the race we just saw, you can't really expect anything. These guys were doing some crazy stuff out here and a ton of speed, and can't wait to see what in the world they've got going on. Dustin Kaliba finally fires up that car, and we are ready to go to see his Dodge Intrepid get going here. Stella, talk to me.
Yeah, we will be hearing from Mr. Christopher Heights here in a few. And right now we are currently waiting for that one wayward driver.
Whoa, boy. Well,
Yeah.
if he ever tunes into the broadcast of the replay of this one, he is going to be hopefully hanging his head after this one. Maybe he's having a Jackson Knock moment.
I'm kind of thinking that myself.
If you guys don't know what that is, you got to go back to the Bandit Racing League and tune in. I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere in the championship top 16 drivers. So you've got to find out why we say that, and that's how you guys are going to run it down. But this should be pretty exciting. Now, Stella, how we saw that race run, when it kind of came down to it, this should be... I'm really, I don't know. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat here. I would love to see a good showing out here tonight. Oddly enough, here in the Broadcaster League, you do get nervous when you have a lack of car count. This being the All-Star race, the car count is supposed to be low, but everybody's going to be biting their nails here tonight. This is going to be an extremely tight race, and we are going to see a lot of speed, and we're going to see a lot of talent. And we're going to see a lot of close calls. I think somebody's feelings are going to get hurt here tonight. I could probably say a few things are going to happen that is going to upset some of the drivers. We are definitely going to see what in the world is going on out there. Stella, I believe you've caught up with Christopher Heights out there. Go ahead and bring him on in.
All right. Well, Christopher, how's it going this evening? You getting ready for the big race?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to watch it. I'm a spectator for this one.
Okay. But you are very involved in this race, from what I hear. Hint, hint, hint.
Yes, Josh and I did some talking earlier about how we're gonna make it more fun for these guys.
Well, money is always fun, huh?
Yeah, when you get a little money on it, it gets more of an interesting race.
All right. So tell us, what are these guys winning tonight, and what's it going to take?
So from what I know on Josh's end, we're each throwing in some money, so the winner's gonna get $100. But I am throwing in a twist because I'm gonna do the hard charger reward for the pole center, and if he declines it, the second place guy has a chance to do it.
Okay. So the hard charger for the pole sitter?
Yeah, so whoever won the pole, if they want, they have the option to start in the rear, and if they win the race, they get an extra $100.
Oh, okay. We had a hard charger for a different league, and it was just the guy who came up the furthest, no matter where they started. So you do have another twist to it. Good to know.
Yeah, so it should be interesting, and it should be a good race.
Take the fastest guy, put him in the back, and then what? Okay, what if he gets caught up in the field inversion?
He just has to win the race no matter what.
Yeah, he just has to win.
Brady Moats just took a chunk out of the wall.
Yeah, I would say it'd be kind of crazy not to take him up on his deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's 30 cars in this race, so they've got a pretty good chance.
Wow.
And there's so much flip-flopping and green flag, 4-tire changes and everything else. This is kind of a free-for-all, so I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a lot of tracks and cars to buy.
Yeah, we did this one year, and I believe Cody Reader was the pole sitter, and he took up and he actually won, so he got $100 out of it.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Okay, well, hey, it looks like Mr. Mike Moultrie in the 40 has arrived at the track. So I think we will. We have a message even.
Yep, we'll finally get to the last thing that I do want to note out there. Christopher Heights, I like putting you on the spot out there a little bit, man. We don't get a whole lot of time to talk to you. What does this league mean to you? What makes you put money for this league? And kind of, talk to me a little bit about how you feel and the direction this league's going.
I got brought in from another friend, and just running with these guys, Josh. Josh has had this league set up in a really good way since I've been in it, and I love the rules. I love the discipline that we have through our setups, and it's just the group of guys that we race with are a class act. They're very good. We won't have a lot of cautions. They're all good guys. They're all helpful. So I really appreciate this league, and it's just a nice way to give back to kind of push the league forward.
Awesome. Christopher Heights, I appreciate you joining us here in the booth, buddy. And I hate to see you spectating, but, man, I'm sure you got a little input for the guys out there to hopefully get make a few of those drivers down there fast from the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated team. Good luck to you out there, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, bud. All right, that's going to do it there for Mr. Christopher Heights. We're getting ready, hopefully, here in just a moment as Mike Moultrie's going to, I think they might give him a few minutes here, seeing he might have been tangled up. I know what time it is. It's around about that 9:30, 9:40 mark, so might have been time to be putting some kiddies to bed, and no one's going to hate him for that. Fortunately, it does look like he is going to go ahead and sling himself back down in the pit road for a quick adjustment. Hopefully, we are getting ready to smack and go. Stella, any update on what in the world is going on?
In the matter of what? No, they are still working on a practice. We got to get Cody Height and behind the wheel, and we should be able to push this and clock it up to race time.
Right. Ooh. Well.
And the backup car will be used there.
Well, that's part of the process, and Brady Moats has assured me of that.
Oh my heavens!
All right. Well, that looks like they're squaring that away. Warm-up is finishing. Yes, finally. Yay, everybody. Woo, all right. Let's go ahead and get this back underway right now. Cody Reader slowing down. 11 drivers signed up for this one. But I believe Mr. Cody Height, Mr. Christopher Heights, and Gladelick are going to be our RC tonight. There we go. We fast forward here to the nighttime as we're going to be running under the lights here tonight. I am so excited and glad to be bringing you guys this race here tonight for the All-Star race next week. Keep in mind, we will be starting 1 hour earlier, as it'll be the crown jewel of the Coca-Cola 600 we're going to be kicking it off for, and that should be a fantastic race no matter what. Stella, I've got to say, even I think it is one of my profile pictures. It is my car out here racing at Charlotte, so this has got to be a very track that means a lot to me out here, and a lot of guys are getting ready to race it, so I'm expecting a fantastic race as usual that these guys are going to be running here tonight. So we'll see, as the fastest time out there on the track is going to go to our man in the front of Mike Moultrie, but does he take the shot of going ahead and kind of double or nothing, going from the back all the way up to the front? Does he decide to take it? So we will see, and we are excited to have you guys join us here tonight at Charlotte. So let's go ahead as we kick off the National Oval Racing Association Gen 4 League at the race here for the All-Star race here tonight. Mike Moultrie will be sitting in that number 1 spot next to Vincent Arthur, who is in second. Moving on to Cody Reeder. Third place start for him is outside. Fortunately, a teammate. It's going to be Dustin Kaliba. Moving at fifth, it will be Brady Moats and Dalton Tucker. Expect Tucker. Yep. Terrible qualifying. 6th spot for him. Brian Jones, who had qualifying much worse, sits in 7th, and are guys who won themselves in. Cody Smith, Josh Conover, Nick Gillis. 10 drivers out here for the 2004 Cup Series. I can't wait to see this one get going. Stella, I've said it probably 1,000 times here. I cannot wait for this to get going, and these guys have been really getting me excited, especially with the winning in race, and we saw what they were capable of doing. Now we've clutched the 10 fastest drivers out here, and we're going to try to let them knock the doors off each other. You heard Brady Moats kind of hint at there during our break. He said, you know, it's going to be pedal to metal. It's going to be the floor. It's going to be down to the floor. These guys are going to be knocking the walls down and each other's tires off to come away with the win. And I would say, Stella, fortunately, this league has a strong core of drivers. If this was just 30 nobodies out here, this racing for money may be a little bit different. But I think everybody has a lot of respect for one another out here. So there will be apologies, maybe. But
okay. They'll still race hard. There'll still be hurt feelings, but at least they'll apologize afterwards.
Yeah, well, we can definitely expect to see some sign language out of the windshields of some of these cars out there and see what they're going to do. All right, Stella, I see the pace car lights are off. Mike Moultrie has the ability to start in the back, but notice he remains in the front.
So that in that case, the person in second has the opportunity to try for the hard charger. So we will see whether Vincent Arthur perhaps moves to the back.
All right, neither one of them, unless they go ahead and get it going here. All right, let's go ahead and get this one underway as we're getting started. Competition caution at lap number 40. Slow start here by Cody Reeder. As they dive into turn number 1, Reeder falls way back, 19 machine. Look who's making a hard stuff here. Reeder falls off the table, spins out a little bit. And Stella, is that on purpose, or is Moultrie going ahead and starting from the back?
Maybe that was his... I don't know if he took the challenge or not.
Well, that
Maybe
stack
I'll
up
go
around
fast.
that, yeah, the stack up around the turn has now spread this field out really far. As right now, good Lord, slinging in right now. That's Cody Smith. That's 4 positions gained. He's already up to the 4th spot. Brady Moat showing, yep, you got to trust this. Got to trust it. And the system is working for him right now. Up to 5th. Moats have fallen back off just a hair as Nick Gillis snugs in behind him in the number 12 All-Tail machine. Normally driven out there by Ryan Newman. Vincent Arthur holding on to the lead as that number 24 is pulling away. Currently, Cody Reeder sitting in dead last here. Mike Moultrie 9th. And Moultrie would love to be able to go back up and find his teammate, Dalton Tucker, who's gained 3 on the night. And he is currently sitting in 3rd. 4 laps. Almost complete here as we get the 4th one started of the All-Star race. Charlotte tripping up a little bit. Now, Stella, we saw a little bit of an adjustment out there from Cody Smith for the hot track. Notice that we are racing under the night lights now, so I would say this is not going to be the same as the track has gone from 101 to 75.
Yes, a huge drop. That should be an interesting adjustment, but you know they have to come in before lap 35 anyway. So maybe we'll see a couple extra seconds on some of these fellas when they're getting their 4 tires of them making an adjustment for that chill.
So there's a minimum and a maximum that these guys are allowed to move that spring perch there in the back. Left or the right rear, they are allowed to move. They are going to see at the end of the race in the tech shed, and we'll find out if anybody's going to be in any sort of trouble out there. I don't think there's anything stopping them from sending it a little too far, getting out there to win the stage, and then making the adjustment during their green flag stop. Always got to find that one sour apple out there. Might try it. Vincent Arthur still leading this race, I think. Yep, looked like Brady Motes was considering making a contest out there. But we'll move our way back here to Ryan Jones. Jones going ahead and putting Guileless in the rearview mirror as the number 12 trying to hold on, front end plowing. And Conover sitting in 8th. Boy, Stella, as we take a look at that, I'm wondering if Mike Moultrie had a problem seeing how far back he's going. Race going on as everybody's shuffling out there on the track.
So Mr. Moultrie happens to be in the back due to a big shot of lack of talent.
Yep, we'll take a look here. This is the overhead shot of that first turn. Notice the 40 break loose here, and that's what ended up happening. Moultrie ended up sidestepping it there, and it looks like Cody Reeder suffered the same fate. Good overhead shot there to see exactly what had happened. So now Moultrie involuntarily has sent himself to the back of the field. Dalton Tucker, while we were away, take a look at the replay, has overcome Dustin Cleveland. So the CTI machine, also sponsored there by the Vencu, is currently running in 3rd. Brady Motes has gone ahead and gotten around Cody Smith. Motes was able to get a little bit of an overhead view of what we were seeing as he joined us here in the booth. We put a racing suit back on Brady Motes and put him back into the car, and then he has been doing an awesome job out here so far. Gaining only 1 position, though, slowly but surely. But remember, these guys need to make a green flag stop. Lap number 30, before lap 35, Stella, depending on strategy out here and the way cautions fall, you can't pit. I mean, I guess you can pit under caution, but that will not count.
Right.
Do you wait longer and have the back end speed to try to see if you can push to the last 40 laps of the race?
Well, because I was going to ask you, or do you think they're coming in together? Will they wait until that guy in the front and then all dash at the same time? Or will we see some strategy for tires? I guess fuel's not going to be an issue. That would be my question.
Seeing how spread out they are, they do have the ability to come in all at once. If we were double stacked side by side with these guys, I would probably say yes. We may see some here, some there.
Okay.
But as spread apart, I would try to figure out what you can do to offset Vincent Arthur here. Right now, he's still out in front by half a second over top of Dalton Tucker. Tucker was, I want to say, held up there by Dustin Kleba, but the two of them had been battling out there on the track. Kleba is falling off now. He's 1 second off the lead from reaching Vincent Arthur, who's currently sitting in the number 1 spot. Kleba sitting 3rd, Brady Motes is 4th. Rounding out our top 5, it will be Cody Smith, and then we've got a decent break before Conover is able to catch Cody Smith, almost a second before you can find him. But Stella, we were talking originally about that running and getting in, about this being a pretty tight race. Right now, this is these guys are pretty spread out here.
Yeah, that's I think this is a good time, a good reason to have stage breaks, personally, or staged breaks. But this green flag part of needing to have that done in the first 35 laps is the part that has me going right now. I'm totally intrigued as to how this is going to go. Whoop, there we go.
All right, well, our first biter out there is going to be Cody Reeder. First one to come down. And it will, remember, he needs 4 tires. And then he can go back out there. If he takes 2, still no go. That's not going to work. So 4 tires. All right, next driver coming on down, Nick Giles. So drivers that were really far in the back of the field here. I would say a driver like Mike Moultrie might want to put a set of tires on to see if he can try to turn his luck around here. A 4 set of tires, get back out there and start speeding around the track. Right now running a 30.65. That is actually faster than Vincent Arthur. But matching Dalton Tucker's time out there. Yet he remains 4 seconds off Brian Jones' back bumper. Drivers to take the field so far, and there it is, Vincent Arthur and Cody Smith. Boy, if Smith didn't speed down pit road, I'd be surprised. Almost goes up there, rear ends Vincent Arthur. Mike Moultrie coming down.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be good timing right now. This could be a huge move here for Cody Smith. Right now he was getting kind of stuffed there in the back. Oh, drive-through. Yeah, I was going to say, I think he sped in.
Oh.
So I would say a total of 3 fumbles here tonight. Cody Smith speeding into pit road. Mike Moultrie and Cody Reeder losing on lap 1, turn number 1. And all these guys have been shuffled to the back of the field. Remember, Cody Smith has now got to go around again and then try to come back down into pit road. This is heartbreaking. For the Caterpillar team, as Brian Jones, Dalton Tucker, and Josh Conover are coming on down.
All right.
Stella, this leaves us normally 2 drivers, which Brady Most is going to be one of them. He changes that by coming on down into pit road. So Dustin Kleba, the last driver to hang out. I like his strategy. I would probably send this to almost 25, 26 laps, seeing his time is sitting at 31 seconds of the last lap he ran. And maybe he'll be able to get back out there and run the tires off his car when we get going. But checking his speed, he's changing his mind. Down he comes. I think his crew chief talked him out of it.
Yeah, somebody did. So that covers everybody who now has come in prior to lap 35, taken their 4 sets during a green flag, and now we run like heck until lap 40.
All right. The dismal 50 miles an hour down pit road. Dustin Kleba goes, still holding on to the lead. Waiting to see if Vincent Arthur is able to pass him, as it looks like currently that is Cody Smith right in front of him. But no, Smith ain't leading. Remember, he had a speeding penalty down pit road. Wow! 22 getting way loose here. Out of pit road comes Dustin Kleba, but he will not hold on to the lead as Vincent Arthur is gone.
Boy, oh boy, is he gone. Like by 3 seconds in front of him?
Yep. And continuing to grow as Dustin Kleba falls to Cody Reeder. But remember, Kleba has the freshest tires out there by about 3 to 4 laps compared to anybody else out there on the track. So I would question right now with field inversion, what happens to Cody Smith out there that just went a lap down?
Well, the field inversion is going to be random. So if it's a full field inversion, I don't know, he might be first. If it's a partial field inversion, then he might really be last.
Right, but it will be a double file restart, and I think it was an inversion of all lead lap cars. So right now, Cody Smith has got to really pick off Vincent Arthur here, and he's going to contest him now. He's starting to get a little bit nervous. Right now, he's going to be hating that speeding penalty out there that he had to unfortunately serve. Let's see if we can find a couple of close drivers out there. This is Josh Conover moving up to 5th. Dustin Kleba sits 6th. Brian Jones 7th. And about 4.5 seconds back is Mike Moultrie. This does give you a little reminder out there of when Bobby Labonte ended up spinning out, going through the infield of Charlotte. Ended up finishing at the end of the pack, and as they inverted the field, it put him back into the lead where he originally was before the spin out. He said that was not intentional. Everybody out there trying to race for a little extra, a couple of passes out there, but unfortunately, that may be what happens to Mike Moultrie here.
Yeah, I have always been curious whether you could have that kind of strategy where, heck, I don't want to be first, because then as soon as we, change over, I'll be last. But I like the fact that it could, it's random. So I like that. You can't plan that, if you're in 10th, you're going to be in first. Because if they only turn over the top 3, or, the top 5, then you're still in 10th.
Yep. All right, right now I'm keeping an eye here on Dustin Kleba, looking to pass his teammate of Cody Reeder. Man, look how close Conover's getting here. Conover trying to push Kleba on through. That way they can send Reeder back down. Remember, Reeder came in first on lap number 14. About 3
That
laps.
was the earliest, and Dustin Kleba being the last. So, yeah, anywhere 6 laps. Everybody else in the middle.
All right. Yep. So far, so good. Cody Reeder trying to play it safe out here, dropping down now to 7. Moultrie moves past Gillis. And Gillis holds on to 9th. Cody Smith is 10th. Remember, I said he is unfortunately was able to get his lap back here. You see him passing Vincent Arthur. And everybody deciding to pit before lap 35. So everybody will pass and move on to the next round.
Nice.
And we'll see how many rows do invert. It could be 1, it could be all 5. We'll see. They said they don't even know. They set it up to a random inversion coming up.
I know,
so.
kind of a spin the wheel thing. That's neat. So I was looking at the pit times to see if there was anybody that had any obvious, maybe setup changes. How long would it actually take to have, say, the tire pressure changed or anything like that? Because we do have people that are as short as, like 14 3/4 seconds, and then maybe just a hair over 15 1/4 seconds. That's not much.
No, it's not. Now, I would say it also depends on the jackman. As soon as those guys go, tire pressure is normally determined before they go in. So that is set up by the pit crew over the wall. But any kind of a spring perch adjustment or wedge adjustment there in the back is made by the jackman. He ends up sticking a ratchet in an extension socket, reaches down there, gives it half a turn, quarter turn, sometimes a whole turn. I would say the way some of these drivers are running, the speed they're running, some adjustments will not be made there by drivers like Vincent Arthur. Dalton Tucker, these guys are running pretty quick, but a couple of adjustments out there need to be made by a driver like Josh Conover, Brian Jones, the guys who are battling to get up to the top 3 here to see if they can keep the car going on. But
now, it's interesting you happen to call out those two, because those are 2 of the fellas that were in the 15-second range. So I was wondering if maybe they had made an adjustment versus the guys that were much quicker.
Yeah, it would be minimal, about 1/10 of a second or so. And as soon as he jacks the car up, he reaches over. The tire changer there, the guy swaps the tire in, tire changer's tightening back up, the jackman reaches back over and drops the car. But it's very quick when you do see a pit stop. You almost don't notice who's making the adjustment out there, but adjustments are being made to the cars out there. Stella, what adjustment can a driver make out here, or what could a pit crew do to figure out what they can do about Vincent Arthur right now, running almost 2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field? I think a lot of guys are going to be really taking a look at that number 24 car out there as to why he has so much speed and how is he pulling away from the rest of the field.
Well, I'll tell you, he has been talking about the perch adjustments with this particular track for quite a while, actually, trying to, I don't want to say school, but mentor some of the other drivers who don't usually make a lot of adjustments to their setups. And he has put out there every piece of information possible as far as suggestions for this track, as well as the allowed minimums and maximums for the perch. And I think some took his advice, some did not, and I think we're seeing the results of that.
Huh. All right.
You asked.
Yep. Now, I'm also looking to see that those will make you certain adjustments. You know that those are the legal limitations he put out there, regardless of in-car adjustments.
Okay.
So you can adjust, let's say, that left rear spring perch down as low as you want, and then during a pit stop, you can have them lower it even more. As long as your base adjustment was between a certain amount. And I'm wondering if that's where he's capitalizing here. You know, you're able to raise the right rear of that car up a little bit more. And then that way the weight will shift to the inside tires. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Aha, little verbiage. Love it. We're objectively checking for legality of all of our drivers out there with 2 laps left to go. Vincent Arthur will be about 90% sure with his 1 second lead here that he will be taking them to their first stage caution. We'll definitely hold our breath there and see how this field flip-flops. I would also expect to see drivers come down for a pit stop.
Okay.
So
I can't imagine why not. I mean, just saying.
Well, they'll have enough tires that the race team can buy. So they can change as many times as they would like. They just had to make a green flag stop on this first part. So, great job here by Vincent Arthur, kind of outsmarting the rest of the field here. As Mike Moultrie looking to get close here to Cody Reeder. Making a pass into 3. Reeder, remember, took tires on lap 14. And I think they should be able to make it. As they cross the line, Josh Conover, Moultrie. Moultrie gives it up. Stage number 1 goes Vincent Arthur, Dalton Tucker, Dustin Kleba, Brady Moats, Josh Conover. Moving on to Brian Jones, Cody Reeder, Mike Moultrie, Nick Gillis, and Cody Smith. Now Smith does appear to be down and now playing chase. We'll see if this does cause any problems out there. All right, and Stella, what about the number 1 thing that we think about out here when we see these drivers moving out there on the field? Caution laps do not count.
5. Hang on 1 second. I'm checking to see how many are inverting. Right now, I see
None.
5.
Okay, the inversion should be a little bit later here. Everybody's staying currently where they are.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when there are when the caution laps do not count, it shuffles our ticker up a little bit. You should
Lord.
remember that from coast to coast when you watched me out there in the field.
Oh, that dirty racing.
Yeah, that shuffle up that you normally see.
Please tell them I'm not calling it. It was dirt racing, people.
Yep.
So
Drivers coming on down into pit road.
all right.
I would say the race off of pit road should not matter.
But
as they should be restarting back in their original positions that they finished that first stint.
Okay.
And then they'll determine the inversion.
okay.
Don't take my word for it as they rush on out. Josh Conover out in 5th. We will see what happens here. Even the admins of this league said they don't even know how many
Oh no.
will be inverted. So I would say drivers like Nick Gillis, Cody Smith, who had a horrible time there, and Cody Reeder, who pit way early, fell off really late. This would be a good chance for them to go ahead and possibly have an opportunity to get to the front. So we'll
Always
hold
a nice
our
thing.
breath here. Stella, check and see what our inversion is. So we will see.
I believe they're supposed to post it for us. The last.
Oh,
I
here we
heard.
go. Alrighty, here comes the shuffle. So I see Vincent Arthur falling way back here.
Well, we
No.
knew he would. Maybe because. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe the top 6 inverted. Lord. Yep, the invert was 6. Confirmed.
Huh. But you would think the invert would send them to the back and it would leave the guys in the center alone. My brain.
They just took the top 6 and flipped them. It didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll make it interesting. That's going to put Brian Jones and Josh Conover in the number 1 spots.
That is correct.
All right, pace car, get off. Brian Jones, Josh Conover. We'll be getting at the restart here. We'll get ready to go. Waiting for the green flag. Here we go.
Nice start for Brian Jones.
Yeah. Always hate to see the last way they went. It went horrible for him during qualifying. This will be his chance to redeem himself. Out into the lead. Yeah, great job here so far. This wasn't like the Mike Moultrie side-by-side spin out there. The driver won the first stage. Currently sits in 6th. See if he can find his way through. Up on top of Vincent Arthur. There's his first one. Dustin Kleba to the outside. Collins Dalton Tucker around. Outside line's going to be held by Kleba though. There he is.
Whee! There he was.
Yep. Kleba's got to back up that turn. You can't send it into the outside like that once you get to the tunnel turn here.
But Vincent will take that outside line right away from him when he pulls back. Nice.
The option Brady Moats is going to have, or is going to lose, his option of the low line. Brady Moats has been riding up high, and I think the 24 is going to be trying to take that away as well as the 42. Brian Jones is making a breakaway, but is he having a Cody Smith moment where he's out front? Speaking of Smith, currently holding on to 8th. Ways to go to get back up to the front there, the Caterpillar machine. Hanging out with the elite. We're out here running this all-star race. Fantastic job here so far. Lap number 44 is underway. As Conover trying to hold on to 2nd. Tucker starting to give a little shove there to the number 8. Budweiser machine starting to skid around a little bit here.
Setting down the top time for the lap so far.
Yeah, Dalton Tucker is definitely a bolt of lightning out there. He is making it work. Right now, I don't know what's going on with Mike Moultrie out there.
Either, but look at Brady Moats just pushing.
Yeah.
He's forcing Tucker Conover to make some decisions in defense.
Yep. All right, little breakaway there. Conover having a brake check. Dalton Tucker almost took the nose of his car off there. A little Chip Nassy Racing out there, giving it to the Dale Earnhardt team. Number 8, the quick brake check there, is going to have to give up a position. Not only to Dalton Tucker, but now to Brady Moats as well. You see who's trying to split those two. Between the 1 and the 8 is the 24. Oddly enough, all 3 of them are teammates.
Yes, but boy, are they tight.
Yep.
In the Whoa,
Jones
boy,
is leading it here, but Brady Moats.
just took a piece of the wall home for as a souvenir. Eesh.
Don't think he can make an adjustment to the right front spring there, but he shows you how yes you can. As he hammers it off the wall.
Aerodynamics.
He'll pay for that here later into the race. Definitely want to keep care of your car. Brady Moats was getting loose, and it looked like a little extra help there from Vincent Arthur from behind. Got Brady Moats out of shape.
Did he just touch the wall again, or was that a little puff of smoke from his engine?
Seeing he is still maintaining speed, he should be all right. A little nudge to the wall. Hoping he doesn't have a tire contact in the right front fender.
Ew.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nasty out there. These guys definitely battling each other out there on the track.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's having some trouble here.
Big time.
Take a look here. I want to see what happened. This is the turn. No, see the air come off that rear spoiler? Sidesteps it again. Air coming off. Bang. Yeah, you see Vincent Arthur get out of there. Kaliba seems unfazed.
Yeah.
And that's just
nice
what happened
defensive
once they got
driving.
once they got behind him, took the air off that rear spoiler. And off to the side he went. Finally breaking free is Vincent Arthur. He's gotten away. He's going to see if he can get Dalton Tucker out of there and try to run away with this one. Going to be tough. Oh,
Yeah,
42. Booker's cutting through the infield. What in the world is Dustin Kleba doing?
Losing about 3 places.
What? Let's take a look here. Did he make contact with Conover? Into the turn. And then he like rockets into the infield. Ooh, there's the touch.
Yep.
Keeps it to the floor. You can't let up. All right, so we'll see if they come down pit road. We'll see him digging out the landscaping out of the front of the Dodge.
Yes. That's not a front end loader.
No, it's not. Look at Dalton Tucker here. Chip Nassy Racing trying to hang in there. Right now, his teammate sitting back in 9th. And Vincent Arthur having the same trouble. It's that turn. It gets slick up there toward the top, and he serves it. But watch as Dalton Tucker looks to block high Vincent Arthur. Yep, that's exactly what we want. Drop him down to the bottom. Vincent Arthur going to have a favorable spot here. Let's see if he snugs in behind him. Dalton Tucker has got a slice in front of the 24. Will he let up? No, he does not. No, he does not. Dalton Tucker still high line. This is the battle for second currently. As we are watching him run it out to the line, that's going to go to Dalton Tucker by 30 thousandths of a second. Vincent Arthur still holds on to third. He wants second, though. Wants it bad right now as we take a look. Josh Conover starting to snug in from behind. He is starting to reel them in as the battle rages on, but finally comes to a stop. Brian Jones out front by over half a second of Vincent Arthur. Dalton Tucker sits only a quarter second behind him, and we are currently sitting on top of Josh Conover. Our fourth place driver who's gained a handful of positions here tonight, holding on to the number 4 spot in the Budweiser machine.
Yeah, normally we see guys when they're battling, they lose time on on a leader behind, in front of them or whatnot. These guys are pushing so hard they did not lose time while they were fighting to get position there.
I would also question at all if Dalton Tucker and Vincent Arthur. Yes, they are pushing harder. Vincent Arthur may be driving a little harder than this car is ready for. Dalton Tucker looking to get on him again. Brian Jones might be checking up a little bit. If I were him, I might want to start coasting a little bit to try to see if you can save tire, because they will eventually meet you. There's no doubt about that. Vincent Arthur still on this roll here. That's the look at the number 42.
Very close look.
Not bad here. There's another as we've kind of been not just the field, but the camera as well. There's Dalton Tucker finally getting pulled away, but watch Vincent Arthur look to slice around him here. DuPont Chevrolet here of Vincent Arthur's, who we're sitting on top of now. See what line he's looking to change. He has been getting loose here for the past couple of laps. Vincent Arthur going to be seeing if he can change it up a little bit. Quick little check up there on the brakes. Coming out of the turn. Yeah, much better this time. Seems when he's riding on that on the outside, that car does not want to stay stuck to the track. Stella, only about 11 laps left to go before our next stage. It's going to be pretty dicey out there of how it's going to go. I think the huge upset here is Mike Moultrie is currently running down in 9th and has yet to been able to recover. Guileless with the fan vote and in. Guileless is about a light year off, about 14 and a half seconds from finding our lead. Brady Moats with the shots to the wall he's had. 8th place is where he sits.
He's still going down.
Yep. Cody Smith, after his speeding penalty, holds on to 7th. So who can take care of their tires the most? Let's move back to Conover. Right now, Cody Reeder is taking a look at the backside of the number 8. Right now, they're looking to see if that Casey Kane car can do a little something around him there. I don't think so. Right now, still taking a peek. Leva splitting it behind him. Vincent Arthur up toward the top. Here we go. That's high side. Yes. Still rolling through. Conover has a horrible turn here. Reeder and Kleba get on around.
They both take him. My goodness.
Yeah, great job there. Our two guys who run the podcast that helped bring the NORA League up to the par is In the Fence podcast. Guys, don't forget to check out there on Spotify, In the Fence. It'll be posted tomorrow morning of how their race went and what they thought of the race and kind of what things happen around the league. So don't forget to check out In the Fence, brought to you by Cody Reeder and Dustin Kleba. We are still running this here uncontested all night. It has been Brian Jones here in this second stage. Right now, Dalton Tucker is starting to really pour on the coal here. Less than 0.2 of a second, now almost to a 10th. Right now, that 42 turns on the afterburners here with 7 laps left to go in the stage. Stella, great job by all our drivers out here so far as we kind of see Brian Jones and Dalton Tucker sitting 1 and 2. Vincent Arthur drops down to 3rd. Cody Reeder was on a roll there. Thought he might be able to reach up and touch him. Still has time, though. Now he might be waiting it out just a little bit longer and not want to give that last spurt here at the end. Cody Reeder sits 4th. Dustin Kleba rounding out our top 5. Josh Conover 6. Cody Smith making a bid there at 4-6 as he drops down back down to 7th, where Josh Conover says he belongs. Mike Moultrie sitting at 6 seconds off the lead with Brady Moats getting in behind the Silver Bullet, who holds 9th, and Nick Guileless about 11.5 seconds back. Now 17.5 seconds off the lead currently holding in 10th. Can Brian Jones hold the lead to the end? We'll have to see, as we are 26 laps from the end, but not here at the stage. 5 left to go before we have our competition caution at lap number 70. Here we go. Right now, Brian Jones does give it up there to Dalton Tucker, and the first time he's seen a car make a shot to try to pass him, and it's now changed the way Brian Jones is driving. I'm hoping he has saved up a little bit to this car as he's racing around there. Notice his plaid racing suit, blue jeans out there as he's hanging out in the car.
Looks like me out gardening.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say he kind of looks like a scarecrow. I think he'd hate me if we're wrong.
I like it. Even my gardening gloves.
All right, move back here to Dustin Kaleba. Kaleba giving it back up to Josh Conover. I think Kaleba's got a problem. Something happened. That car is way too loose late into this run. But remember, these guys need to have their car set up for the fastest time that they can make in 10 laps. Kaleba off the wall. Vincent Arthur in some trouble here as Cody Reeder starting to lean into him. And the DuPont Chevrolet hang out. 2 laps to go at the line. See if they can do it. Stello, I stand corrected. It looks like 20 laps to the end. Vincent Arthur into the wall all the way around. Doing his best Ross Chastain move there. And he pays for it. Loses the position to Cody Reeder, giving Josh Conover an opportunity. Our Vincent Arthur, he's definitely going to want to spend some extra time down in the pits to fix that one.
Yeah, that was very unusual for Vincent Arthur. I'm kind of wondering whether they are running out of tires or whether it was just a quick distraction.
Well, they're running out of time. Well, to figure that out, but I would say this is the longest amount of time that they've been on tires. Everybody else came in about 15 laps or 20 laps or so. Them trying to stretch it out to 30. They're starting to really feel the pressure. 29.34 for some of our drivers sounds like a good median number as the caution flag does come out with Dalton Tucker being the stage winner. They are currently running 31 threes or all the way down to 31 and a half for a lot of our drivers out there. So there is an intense amount of fall off out there for these guys when they get back out there. Dalton Tucker looking for the pace car as the stage comes to an end here. Fantastic job. Appreciate you guys joining us here at SimTraX Broadcasting as we bring you the National Oval Racing Association for the All-Star race here tonight. Vincent Arthur goes ahead and takes stage number 1. Stage 2 does go to Dalton Tucker. We invert the field, which the top 6 flipped. And that seemed to cost Vincent Arthur some precious time and positions out there. They'll be looking to scramble and get back to it. 20 laps left to go. Caution laps do not count. They have the option to come down and pit. I would say they know how far the car will go on 30 laps. I expect to see 4 tires and maybe just enough fuel unless they feel they're going to run out. I'm wondering if some of these guys did not take fuel back on lap 40 to see if they could run that tank a little bit lower. Well, they start using up some of that fuel. They lose some of the weight in the back end of that car, which would be a reason a driver like Kaleba ended up breaking loose.
Yeah.
So
I was going to ask regarding that. I mean, I understand doing quick on the fuel for time and maybe for weight to be faster like you do on a qualifying lap. But I really don't think I'd want my rear end to be slinging. I'd like that weight back there, a little junk in the trunk, to keep me on the track at this point.
Race out of pit road, Dalton Tucker, and woof. That was close. I think Vincent Arthur was able to beat I think
Brian
he was
Jones.
able to beat Brian Jones out, or he was able to beat Cody Reeder. That was close. See if we can take another peek at it here. Actually, Vincent Arthur was able to beat both of them.
Yes.
Yep, got Brian Jones and Cody Reeder behind him there at the line. Yeah, Moultrie will be actually starting in front of Josh Conover.
That's a half a second difference in pit stall time. Moultrie came out in 14.5 and Josh Conover took 15. So I'm wondering if for any reason there was an adjustment or if he had a little bit of a repair.
Yeah.
I do not see Vincent Arthur taking a repair though. But it could be kind of instantaneous, couldn't it?
We'll see here. Is making another pit stop is going to be Nick Gillis.
I see that. Did he do a drive-through the first time?
No. Might be fixing a little bit of that damage or making another adjustment.
Okay.
Looks like the wheels were tight, though. So a quick little check as Gillis catches up to the field.
Good deal.
Hopefully we'll see the Mobile One machine come in clutch here tonight.
No, I thought these were otherwise. I won't do that again.
Nope. So Kaleba pretty happy with his run here tonight after the engine replacement during his qualifying time. Kaleba will be restarting, I believe, in 8th position out there. As Conover takes to the inside, Dalton Tucker and Vincent Arthur. This is going to be a tight run. The key is for everybody keeping Vincent Arthur behind him. Once that guy gets fresh air, it's over. Hard shot to the wall.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Nick Gillis.
No caution?
Into the pits. Straight in.
Wow.
Nope. No caution. Off the racing surface as far as iRacing is concerned.
Let's take another look at this. Because it seems two separate incidences. Look at the 22 up front. Boy, it's like there was a slick patch on the track. Look at that 22, my power shifted and slung it. Sidestepped it, sending Cody Smith to the back of the pack now.
Wow.
Alright, checking out there with the 20 laps left to go. A slap on the back of the hand out there. I see something about Vincent Arthur cutting the track there. I wonder if he put those left side tires down into the grass on the front stretch. iRacing will keep their eyes on him. Contact with the wall. Boy, look who's coming back alive. Mike Moultrie. Moultrie now up to 5th.
Conover has something to say about that.
Yep. These two get going here. Mike Moultrie holds on to the outside. Kalebas getting pretty close to the silver bullet there. Let's see if this loosens him up. Nope. Stay pretty tight to the track. 16 laps left to go. Who has what it takes to make this one happen? I'll say Dalton Tucker, strong all night. As Moultrie into the wall. Moving up to Brian Jones, who's under fire by Cody Reeder. Reeder on the bottom here. Looking at the backside there of Vincent Arthur. Arthur hanging back. Moultrie falling out. Ryan Jones falling to fourth. Still a little bit of shuffling up here from our drivers.
Really? Quite a bit of shuffling.
Wow.
You're watching a magic show with a deck of cards. Good one.
Pretty awesome. This is almost a prelude to next week. When we run the Coca-Cola 600 here at Charlotte.
Yes.
Boys get to stay here, hang out, enjoy some food, time with family, and then go back out there in the race car and do it again next weekend.
Well, can't not be refreshed. And ready and raring to go.
We'll know what to do and what not to do. I would say with some slight adjustments that you are able to make to this fixed setup. I think it might be tripping some of these guys up. I don't see where Vincent Arthur is able to come up with that speed that he originally had unless he is tire conserving now. I wonder if an adjustment was made.
Possibility. I just don't want to see him running that wall again. It did not work out well for him when he did for Ross Chastain.
No. No, it did not. But Dalton Tucker stretching out to a half a second lead. Let's check back in on Conover. Whoa. Yeah, just in time as Conover looked like he was in some trouble there.
Brian Jones gives no quarter.
Oh, absolutely not. As these two duel it out across the front stretch. Conover does come out victorious across the front nose of his car. 45 only gaining 2 on the night. Right now, Josh Conover gaining 5. We'll see. I think if Conover can gain one more position, that might be our hard charger of the night.
That's not the way it works here. Remember? Hard charger had to be accepted by the pole sitter.
Ah.
And it was not.
Or was it accepted by second place either?
No, it was not. So I will have a little announcement to make at the end while we do interviews.
Awesome. Oh, man. Sorry, did you see Conover, how close he got to Cody Reeder?
I don't understand how. Granted, we're not supposed to say that nasty word of netcode, but how you can have the ability to get that close and not have pucker factor, or with iRacing possibly taking you to the, taking you to the mat by no fault of your own.
All right, Josh Conover takes his Chevy here to the inside as Cody Reeder continues with his Dodge to the outside. Trying to see if he can squeeze that Dale Earnhardt Jr. car down on the bottom. Vincent Arthur starting to get loose again. Dalton Tucker is out to a 1.1 second lead. With only 7 laps left to go here at Charlotte. This is an excellent race here so far. Only 1 tumble up there. I would say I was a little concerned that there was no caution. And it wasn't the Nick Gillis into the wall. It was the Cody Smith sideways in the field. That actually surprised me that there was no caution. I think Kevin Ballmer would definitely agree with us, even out there in the chat. Cody Reeder. Hanging on to it, man.
Just like whisker. Ooh.
giving you a decent view here, guys, of what these guys are having to fight around out here. Cody Reeder's going to go ahead and let him on by, but watch him give him a nudge.
I don't know. Nudging at this track sometimes is not your best choice. It can go south quickly.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but even while this battle is going on between Conover and Reeder, see that red car in front of him? That is the back end there of Vincent Arthur. If you look even farther forward, that's Dalton Tucker.
Yes.
That is currently 2.3 seconds off the nose here of Cody Reeder with 4 laps left to go. Unless Dalton Tucker makes a huge mistake, I think he's got this one in the bag.
It looked pretty good. I think that this will be the big. Oh! Did Vincent Arthur just come off the wall again?
Vincent Arthur's been tagging the wall about 3 or 4 times here lately. Yeah, right now that car is way, way out of shape.
They're like a second behind him. I mean, he can't do that too many more times here. But we are to green white checker
Yep.
territory.
Yep. Driver is a winner takes all. And nothing matters unless you're in that number 1 position. And Dalton Tucker's almost laughing. As he's only got 2 laps left to go.
And he is still running faster than second and third place. Away.
Yeah, I would say. Here's Dalton Tucker there. There's Vincent Arthur. And 4. Josh Conover holds on to 3. White flag is out. Great job as we see these guys rush toward us. Dalton Tucker is gone. 2.25 seconds out in front of Vincent Arthur. He owned this track. The 42 machine is only 2 turns away from the race win. And here comes Dalton Tucker to the line. Great job. He wins the All-Star race. Vincent Arthur second, Conover third. Uh-oh. So at the checkered flag, the 45 machine. I think him and Dustin Kaleba got into it as Moultrie slides across the line.
Oh. What?
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was looking at here. I don't know if this is a mistake or if this is everybody letting it rip here at the line.
Because this is, we're looking at 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, this is currently, Moats in 5th.
Right.
Off the wall.
Into the grass.
Yep.
But how did Dustin Kaleba get in the grass, too?
Yeah, well, it looks like everybody kind of screwing around there a little bit. Dalton Tucker, though, does come away with the race win here. Awesome job. So he will be tech checked here at the end, as they are currently doing the little bit of screen sharing out there to make sure everybody's not in any sort of trouble.
Nice.
We will see. Right now, the big one to check is Dalton Tucker. And see if he comes away with the win. And I believe indeed he has. Great job there for our top 3 guys, Conover, Arthur, Tucker.
Okay.
Fantastic. All righty, Stella, will you say we cut away and get a little chat from our top 3 we won't spend too long because they've got to get ready for the longest race of the year, which is next week.
That sounds exciting.
Beautiful.
We'll go find them and put them in the green room.
Fantastic. All right. Hold on, guys. Alrighty, everybody, we reel in our second place finisher here on the night, and what a job he had out here tonight. And boy, Vincent, you had a lot of things going against you here tonight. You shuffled through the back of the field. We made some contact with the wall. What happened with that Monte Carlo out there?
Yeah, I mean, tonight was an interesting night. We were able to mess around with the setups a little bit, which I thought it was a lot of fun, honestly. I really enjoyed it. But, yeah, I expected the track to, I don't know, keep tightening up a little bit. And I just over-adjusted. I just went a little too far there at the end and made the wrong adjustment. Where I feel like if I had tightened up a little bit, I would have had something for him. Or honestly, if I would have left it alone, I would have been all right. But, I mean, all in all, fast, but this race don't pay for second, so kind of sucks.
Right. Well, during practice, it was 101 degrees out there on the track. I think everybody was racing and making their adjustments. Once that sun set in the background, it dropped to 75 degrees out there on the track. Do you think that may have had anything to do with it?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, I kind of got a little bit of a experience on what to expect. I was crew chief and Josh Conover during the open race, so he kind of started complaining that he was, just a little free and then kind of tight everywhere else. So I figured in these things I'd rather be loose than tight. So I freed it up quite a bit to start and ended up still getting really tight. So I took a couple huge swings at it. And then there at the end, I just made a couple minor adjustments to help my drive off, and then also keep it turning entry to center, and kept it turning entry to center, but it just kept over rotating off the corner, and I really could never get the power down to get to Dalton, which kind of sucks because at the end there, at the end of the third segment, or what was it? I mean, we had a heck of a battle, and I felt like if I would have kept that balance, I probably would have had something for him, or maybe been able to beat him there at the end. But I mean, hats off to him. He's a hell of a driver. Yeah, just kind of sucks to just make your own bed and then have to lay in it for the last 20 laps and not have a chance to go back on it. But it's just more notes for the notebook.
Yep. Well, we thought there was going to be a quick caution there with Cody Smith and Nick Geilis spinning out at the restart, but it still would have been too early during that stint to get that thing fixed. All right, Vincent Arthur, go ahead and give me a shout-out here, man. I'm fairly certain you passed Tech here tonight.
He did.
Yeah, we got all Tech out of the way. Thanks to Josh Conover for letting me drive this thing, put this race on. Thanks to Wake Up Narcolepsy, Damn Good Sleep, sleephealth.org. We'll be racing at Tri-County again this weekend. We were planning on racing at Hickory last weekend, but Mother Nature really didn't like the racetrack, so got rained out. But we'll make it up this weekend, so tune in. I think it's Pit Road TV. It's broadcasted on. So yeah, thanks to all my sponsors for allowing me to do that. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast. And yeah, we'll try to get one in the Coke 600 next week.
All right, good luck to you, buddy. Longest race of the year. So rest up and be ready for it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Vincent Arthur, our second place finisher. moving on to our
Nope. Yes, your third place finisher is available. I just need to know when you want him.
Okay, well, we are ready for Mr. Conover, who currently finished third here on the night. Rough night here for him, as he had to battle in from the outside in the open, get out there on the track, and try to fight through most of this field, but giving him tons of trouble out there. Cody Reeder and Dustin Kalebo just kept banging his doors in. And Josh, where could you have been to try to be a little safer out there?
Nah, normally I'd be a little upset, but tonight, I think I'm gonna pick on him a little bit because he picks on me and calls me Eeyore with my ups and downs. But I think Dustin was kind of struggling or was having a rough night. But no harm, no foul. We all kind of survived, and I even said it over the chat. I was having a blast, and I think for most of the runs I was by myself and not battling anybody. But I'm sweating and I'm tired. But man, that was fun.
Sweating already and tired. This is the All-Star race. The longest race of the year is next week. How did this race prep you for that?
It's funny because obviously we ran, I guess you say, quote unquote, newer Charlotte, just because it was more than one line, whatever, blah blah blah. And I made the comment of like, hey, I'm getting laps, I'm learning for next week. And then Brady and Heights were both like, oh, it's nothing, nothing's the same, like it's completely different and whatever. And Brady's trying to get us on this track for next week too. And it's like, oh well, wouldn't this technically be closer to the repave? And he was kind of confusing me. But no, I mean, laps are laps. I mean, the track, obviously, yes, probably different because it's the legacy version, but it's, I was kind of want to say relevant laps, but if it's different, it's not really relevant, but it's similar laps, I guess you could say. So really, I mean, any laps are going to help you when it comes down to that. So we'll see. I feel good. I actually really like Charlotte, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be
like you.
Exactly. Yeah, literally, that's kind of how it goes. If I say, oh, I like this track, it normally chews me up and spits me out by the end of the night.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and we're able to see you out here on the track here tonight. Josh, shout out time, man. We got to get over to Dalton Tucker.
Yeah, you make sure you pick on him and tell him we're not paying him because he wins too much. No, the guys that ran the Open, clean and green, I think we had one mishap on one of the restart, maybe, or something like that. I actually forget, to tell you the truth, but no, pretty much clean and green besides the segment breaks. I thought from in the car it was great racing. The reason we came here was to have side-by-side racing, and I think I spent at least 5 laps trying to pass somebody. It was side-by-side and hard, clean racing. And like I said, guys in the Open, the guys that made it into the big dance here, it was a blast. Like I said, I'm sweating already, and next week's the longest race of the year, but this was fun. I think it lived up to hopefully everybody's expectations, and hopefully it was a good show for you guys.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fantastic from our angle. A couple of things of us not ended up under caution. I think your friend out there, Nick Giles, would have preferred one. Cody Smith was a beam of light out there, but he kept getting caught up. And Mike Moultrie, you want to talk about a lap one folly there that he just never recovered from, which was pretty wild. But man, oh man, Josh, good luck to you, buddy, and hopefully Charlotte next week with the yellow walls will change. Maybe get guys a little fired up, and a few more guys out there to maybe door each other.
Yeah, we'll see. I know. I know we told you before, real quick before I go. There was kind of a fixed open race tonight, just trying something different. Obviously, the rest of the year will be fixed default, but I know Cody Smith was one of the guys that was worried about, having to make the changes on the fly and this and that. And then after the race, he goes, "Man, I'm like excited for it now. Like I actually loved it." And it was nice. Every run I think in the main event there, I was having something different. The first run I was kind of free in the first segment, and then I got tight. The second after the pit stop, second segment I was back loose, and then the final segment I think I actually hit it perfectly. I just was battling hard with Reader and kind of burned my tires up. But yeah, that was a different perspective that I normally never deal with, and I think for the most part, obviously some of these guys don't, but for the most part, I had a blast, and I don't even know what I'm doing on asphalt. I'm more of a dirt guy, so it was fun. And like I said, hopefully it was a good show for you guys. I know in the seat it was insane, and I truthfully probably the most fun I've actually had all year so far. So hopefully it was a good show.
Awesome. That it was. Josh, appreciate you, buddy, and good luck at this track next week.
Appreciate you guys as always.
Yep. All right. Josh Conover coming away with third place. That does move us on to Dalton Tucker. Although a fast race car here tonight wins absolutely not a single dollar because he wins too much. Dalton Tucker, how do you feel about that?
I might have a little bit of a problem with that.
Okay, so what you're saying is you put way too much time and effort into this, and it just didn't happen. I'm gonna start from the beginning, and let's start poking the open wound. Your qualifying time, you hang your head
boy.
here, but you bounce back.
Oh boy.
Why fresh tires? Why is it so hard for you to get out of pit road on fresh tires?
Well, so I'm gonna blame this on Brady. I'm leaving pit lane, and he's keying up. Get on it. So I'm as fast as I can, and then next thing I know, it's just sideways. And at that point, it was like, everybody's watching me. This is great.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but doesn't he tell you to trust the process? This is
Yeah.
is how it gets fixed.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I thought I practiced it, but that was the one aspect of that qualifying I didn't practice. I was so worried about entry to pit lane that the exit of pit lane I didn't even think about.
Man, what?
Well,
but
I guess we will never put you up on the line in a dragster.
The funny
That's
thing is
staging at the line and go.
that's actually what I do in real life, so that's kind of
No.
embarrassing for that.
wow.
Oh, wow.
Way to go,
Open
Stella.
mouth, insert foot. I'm sorry.
That's it. Ostrich head in the ground. Dalton, what an awesome race here tonight. I've asked a couple of the other drivers, and I'll kind of take it out here. We're most likely heading back to the legacy track, the old Yellow Wall, Lowe's Motor Speedway. But still, it is Charlotte. It does have a lot of similarities out there. How does a race win like this get you prepped for that next round?
I don't know if I can really take anything from this with the track being so different, but it's definitely a confidence booster big time because I don't know, mile and a halves in this car for me just typically don't go that great, but they've been pretty solid this year, so the more I can build on that, the better.
Well, you already have 3 wins this season, so you are not unfamiliar with being up front. But what I understand is, yes, you had a lot of things that you could, tire pressure and spring rate and whatnot. You just won this race on a pure default fixed setup. I heard.
Yeah, in practice I tried messing around with tire pressures and the spring perches, and it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't tell a difference, and I was like, I'm just gonna run what I know. Maybe other people will do too many changes and it hurt them instead of help them. And I don't know if that was the case or if I figured something out late in that race, but it definitely all came together at the end.
I
no
love it.
adjustments made. Not even like a little right front tire pressure or anything. That's
No,
crazy.
like default. I love it.
All right.
So, in that, teasing you about that because it's so good, and I know we have to let you know we are teasing you also about not winning the $100 for winning the All-Star race, but the surprise is you are actually winning $200 because no one took up the challenge of hard charger. So it has been combined together and you are winning $200 this evening for your victory.
You can't ever complain about winning. It could have been $10 and I would have been more than happy, but that's pretty awesome that they kind of grouped that all together since nobody took up the hard charger.
Whoa.
I thought it was pretty cool. So there's my surprise for you, Patrick.
Awesome. Yeah, and especially 5 positions gained here on the night as well. Awesome job. All right, Dalton Tucker, go ahead and give me a shout-out here, man. We got to get you ready for the longest race of the year.
Shoot, gotta give a shout out to everybody that showed up tonight. That was arguably the best racing I think I've ever had in this league, and probably the smallest field we've ever had, with it being the All-Star. And Vinny up there, Brian, all of them, just every pass was so important. So huge shout out, and how clean it was. Always a shout out to my team at Chip Ganassi. Michael had a little bit of issues, especially lap 1, but hopefully next week when we run the full thing, it'll be a lot better. And overall, I just can't wait to go back and watch this. Y'all do a great job, and it's gonna be interesting because there was a ton of side-by-sides and just tough passes and switchovers, and it's crazy. Next week's gonna be even crazier.
I like it.
Yep. And we're definitely going to be ready and hydrated for that one, as we're going to be setting up for 300 laps. So that is going to be a war of attrition out there, and definitely an endurance check. Dalton Tucker, congratulations here, buddy. What an awesome job, and we'll see how you do next week. See if you can repeat the process.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, awesome job there by Dalton Tucker. What a job he did here tonight. Day in and day out, this guy has been able to really hold his own and fight these guys back and forth to keep these guys at bay. But Stella, with that many wins, it has got to start really get daunting for some of these drivers out there, whether or not they're going to be the next one, or if they even have a chance with a guy like that in the number 42.
Well, we have a lot of winners in this league, which I kind of like personally. Granted, Dalton has this today counts for 4, but Vincent Arthur has 2, as well as Brady Moats, Dustin Kleba, Brian Jones, Dakota Reeder, Mike Moultrie, Tyler DeTalent. All of these guys have won a race so far this season, so I like spreading it around. Not, like taking it away from somebody and giving it to somebody else, kind of spreading it around. No politics intended. But I like to see a league that's balanced like this. It makes for good watching.
Yep. And especially it makes if you're in the back of the field, makes you want to grow and follow these guys and figure out how to do it just like them. All right, that's going to do it for us here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association. Thank you for joining us here at the All-Star Race. Next week will be the Coca-Cola 600 at, the same exact track for 300 laps. Hold your breath, because it's going to be a long one, and definitely make sure you're well comfortable, as Stella and I will be joining you then. But that's going to do it for us. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.